I got Versa here with me, man. I'm so excited to have you on today. I really appreciate you for coming through, man. I'm glad we were able to make it work before the draft. I know the draft is 2 days away. Right, yeah, today's the 20th. I know you're a very busy guy around this time, man. So I
Yes,
definitely
sir.
appreciate you. Appreciate you, man, for fitting me in the schedule and making this work. Um, let's just go ahead and dive right into it, man. I don't, know too much about you, so go ahead and explain, to me and the community, who you are.
Well, my name is Andrew Cole. Been playing 2K for a very long time, since I was a kid. So, dating back to before we even had like online capabilities. So,
Okay.
we first got into like the competitive rink around 2K10, 2K11, where we had crew mode. That's before Pro-Am was even invented. Back then, there was like a great plethora of names, even dudes that are in the league right now, that were teammates and as well as rivals. You have GFG Compete, you have Ramo, you have Dat Boy Shots, so on and so forth. You have Doms, you have
Wow.
Arsenal. So I could go on for days, pretty
Yeah.
much.
Yeah.
Just honing my strengths and, working on my craft and being able to improve as a player and improve as a person as well, because, they go hand in hand with communicating with who you're playing with on the game, whether you know them in real life or not.
Definitely.
So throughout that journey, year by year, the game changes, we adapt, we get better. Friendships and relationships grow. We were presented the opportunity of the 2K League. So when it
Yeah.
first came out, everybody was in the party. Everybody's on the headset. Everybody's like, "Hey, what's this? What are you talking about?"
Right.
And we all looking at each other like not physically looking at each other, but like you get the vibe through the headset. So this might be our way, to make a difference, because
Right.
a lot of us were aspiring basketball players. It's a lot
Okay.
of great talent in the community that actually play basketball.
Hmm.
And outside of that, we all have our stories, we all have our journeys that we've been through, hardships, ups and downs, and basically motivated us. So we had all the training. You get what I mean?
Yeah.
Throughout that duration of time, it was a lot of training that already turned us into elite players, and we did it for the love of the game. So not only are we doing it for the love of the game now, but we also are able to change other people's lives that are dependent on us, or people that we look around to as our peers, or we pretty much formed brotherhoods throughout this. You know what I'm saying? I look at a lot of
Yeah.
these players as my brother, or people that I really care about genuinely. And we talk about life problems and anything of that sort. So it's a blessing, man. Road to the All-Star came about. My team qualified for that. We Return of the Wave.
Okay.
Was a dominant team for pretty much every 2K that came out. And as we kept going, the community got bigger and bigger. And then there was Road to the Finals, and the 250K. Still Trill won that. They played against Dev Goss and their team and whatnot, and Throwdown. For some reason, I
Yeah.
know it's Josh.
Yeah.
I can't remember their name, but I played against them, and then from that on, as much as it's gonna sound cliche, those events opened the doors for what we have today, like the product that we have today, and not only that, but the MPBA and WR and the leagues coming around, giving us a platform to not only showcase our level of play, but showcase how we are as individuals. You get what I mean?
Right. Yeah.
So it's a blessing, man. I'm thankful that I'm in the draft pool. I fell short season 1. I made the top 250. I didn't make the final 102. I had a lot of ups and downs that happened, that I've been through throughout the period of season 2, that I was unable to give it my all. But I bounced back to season 3. I approached it way more methodically, and it turned out in my favor. I feel like I'm one of the best prospects in the pool, and I feel like I have a lot that I can offer to an organization outside of just my gameplay. I'm just an overall great person, overall great product, and I know what I bring to the table.
Oh, definitely, and that's huge, man. I want to go back to something that you said that really stuck to me. You said that these leads, like the WR and PBA, have given us players like yourself a platform, man. Every time, most of the time I'm hearing about leads, if I hear another person talking about a lead, it's in a negative way.
Right.
They're always complaining about something. I don't know if you seen it, but I ain't never seen no tweets out there that's saying great. I don't see too many tweets out there that's saying great job, militia, great job, WR. You know what I mean? Because it's a lot that these leads have to go through with, players they're dealing with over 200, 300 plus players, at points and times, So that's big. I like that you said that, man. I think a lot of other players, just not that are in your position, but should respect the platforms, that we have to allow us to, get exposure like yourself. And then I wanted to get into more of that. You were saying, as far as you've been playing for 2K all of this time, how did you get your name? What made you know? Because I didn't know too much about you, but I pay attention in the community. Now I know a lot of people know about you. I know that.
Right.
I see that on tweets and stuff like that. Jeff from Spurs Zone just made a tweet saying that, well, not just made, he had made a tweet. I forget when it was, but he was saying that he had met with you or something, that you were an outstanding guy or something along those lines. Shout out to Jeff.
Right.
But I know people know about you, and I know you got game. So how did you get to that point? How did you get known?
Really just setting myself apart. A lot of people feel like you have to consistently win every single thing to create an identity for yourself. What I did was, what really made me stand out is the foundation that we built. I've been playing with the same team consistently since 2K11, really 2K10.
And
So
who's
that's
that?
me,
What's the name of
me.
that team?
That's one way. Me,
Okay.
Young Iverson, Cardi, Z the A1PG, Ed Cashing Out. We haven't played consistently as of recently because of their ups and downs in their life and not being able to play the game as much. But those guys is what we built off of. How we learned, how we coped, how we were able to switch around different positions and learn different positions. So that's where I got the name Versa from. Like I had the name, but playing under that brand and playing with those group of players only enhanced my identity.
Mhm.
So I've always just been different. My gameplay has always been different. Where everybody feels like there's a meta, I set myself apart. I can easily fall into the meta, but I produce with the meta or without the meta, and that's where I feel like I set myself apart. I was when they first brought about archetypes into 2K after 2K16. I believe I was one of the only people, if not one of the first people, to run like a shot creating sharpshooter, right? Which is kind
Okay.
of like the secondary ball handler what we have now,
Oh
because you
yeah.
can shoot and you can attack the rim, but you're slightly slower than a playmaker, like a dominant playmaker. And that's when people started speaking about like how I'm able to score without having being able to speed boost, or how I'm able to create and make plays without being as fast, or how I'm able to get to certain spots even with the lockdown guarding me. And that really is what set me apart within that. We had some huge runs throughout the years of 2K, beating top teams. All top teams beat top teams, regardless. What makes you dominant as a player is your consistency and your IQ of the game, and being able to mold people that are less talented than you into winners. And that's why I see myself being a lot more valuable in how I set myself apart. Being able to identify what somebody's skill sets are and utilize them to their full extent, and not saying that you can it only pertains to them, but just seeing the qualities in a player and improving them and helping them find their craft and perfect their craft and utilize that in the proper form without disrupting that player's thought process. Because
Right.
player A and player B could literally be the same player, but player A has a certain play style and player B has a certain play style that pertains to a certain team. Does that mean that player B can't coordinate with player A's team? No. Does that mean that player A can't coordinate with player B's team? No. But what sets that apart is their dialogue and how they communicate and how they utilize their teammates and how they're open to the communication that they get back from the teammates as well. So I feel like that's my trade. And
Wow.
that's a strong quality that I'm able to set myself apart from with the rest of the pool, to be honest. And I say that confidently because it comes with maturity, comes with understanding, and it comes with experience. Whether it's just on the game experience or just real life experience, and I'm lucky to have both.
Yeah, yeah. And speaking about, real life experience, and let me stop there, man. You're just from talking to you just these couple of minutes, man, you're a stand-up guy. So I get the video that you just put out recently. Now, as far as all those people saying all those nice things about you, and stuff like that, I get that. How did that, not a lot of people can get, there's certain people that then, burnt all their bridges. Not a lot of people can get, people to say, get on camera,
Right.
then you got to record, people, a lot of people don't like being on camera. Then you got to record, send it over to you. How did you get that? Who are those people? I've seen some real important people. I've seen someone in the Air Force. It was kind of, yeah, I think, was your mom in there?
No, Chantel Jones is actually a market researcher. So she
Okay.
she collects data and spreads them around major markets so that way they can utilize that data to attack certain stocks and trades and everything of that sort. Sergeant Sam, he's an ex-NFL player. He played with the Pittsburgh Steelers. Khalif Muhammad, he runs his own company with Fashion and Entertainment.
Mm-hmm.
And I am missing Kendrick Holloman. He's a regional manager for Enterprise. I work for Frontier Airlines. I now do part-time with Southwest Airlines. So I've come across a lot of different people. I'm an outstanding worker. I have outstanding customer service. I have outstanding skills with dialogue and understanding where people are trying to come from with what they explain to me. So 4 or 5 years, I've come across a lot of great people in my life. And they really consider me like a huge blessing for what I've been able to offer them or advice or being able to help them in their time of need. Simply, to be honest, they knew that I was pursuing this. They knew that I was pursuing this season 1. They knew I was pursuing season 2. They knew of my ups and downs and just life events, taking care of family, being a father figure to my nephew, making sure that he's on his P's and Q's and doing what he needs to do academically. He wants to get into esports as well, so I fully inspire him. He's like my mini me. And I talk to him pretty much every day just to make sure he's doing well and, keeping up with everything. And I talked to them. I said, I'm really taking this serious. Like, I'm like really taking this serious and I'm this close. And I woke up one morning and Brandon Sam, he hit me up. He was like, hey, little bro, how you doing? How you feeling? How soon is the process going to be coming along? I was like, well, the draft is the 22nd. This was probably about 4 or 5 days ago. And it was like, like what you need is a team. And I said, well, I play 2K. I have teams that I play for. He was like, no, I mean like support. Like you've been helping us all this time. Is there something I could do to help you? And I was like, well, I mean, I don't know. Just how do you feel about me? And I didn't tell him to specifically make a video about it, but he made a video about it. So I shared that with the others, and they just chimed in. And a lot of people, I didn't really get into video editing and everything of that sort. Within the past 3 days, I learned how to do that. And I created that myself, like
that's nice, man. I like that.
Putting everything together because I want this that bad.
Right.
If you go down the track record of everything that I've been doing, the publications, the articles, the interviews, just being professional, how I carry myself, how I speak, and just being an overall genuinely good person with pure intentions. I do a lot of things without asking for anything back or looking for anything back because that's just who I am. That's my identity. And I know who I am and I'm firm with who I am. And it was just a blessing that they did it all at that time. And I said, what were the odds that I had this interview with you today and I'm able to put out that content today? And I've always wanted to get into content creating and putting out content because I'm a very creative individual. My girlfriend, she's a nutritionist. She has she does fitness, personal fitness, and she does meal plans, and she's a full-time nutritionist, and she actually is a dancer. So she does like Tiana Taylor. She does choreography. So her creative mindset and my creative mindset put together, we created our brand, which is called The Urban Aura. If you look at my website, that's where all that came from. So I have my side, she has her side. And
Mm-hmm.
I'm pretty much bringing that all into perspective because given the chance I get drafted to an organization within the 2K League, there's a lot that I can offer that's just not within gameplay. Overall health, mental health, people that want to achieve their goals, being able to, give people real life advice or perspectives, not only my teammates, but people that were around the community. And within that realm, I teach low league football, flag football, and low league basketball in the College Park area, which I grew up in this area in Atlanta as well. And I also taught in New Orleans, where I recently moved from last year. So I'm a man. If you look at my website, I'm a master of many talents, man. I try to take initiative to learn a lot of different things and be useful in a lot of different fields.
Okay. So let me ask you this, and I don't want to keep you too long, but I definitely want to take the time to shout out Worldwide. They were a big reason why we connected. It looks like that's another part of your support team, if you want to call it that. I think they represent you. They're agency. Is that correct?
He's more so like I've known him for a long time. He's like a very close friend of mine. So he's basically supported me this whole time throughout this long process. Giving me advice, showing me how to go about certain things. Just keep me level headed, even throughout the times where I was denied or not being able to make it as far as I did. But he's definitely been like a pillar in my corner to support me, making sure that I'm headed in the right direction.
Good. So what position do you play, or what positions do you play? Do you play multiple, or are you just playing one position? Talk to me.
I play 1 through 4 at an elite level, but I view myself as where I find myself to be more valuable, just being realistic, is at shooting guard and small forward, for the fact that I'm able to. You're gonna find a lot of point guard qualities in me as a shooting guard. So given any team that gives me the chance to prove to them what I can do on the court and off the court, just strategically thinking, when you come across the talent in the league, being put on the team that's going to buy into a system, it's going to be very hard to figure out how to stop a team with 2 guards that can play off of each other and 2 guards that can abuse a mismatch. You're only able to put one lockdown in the game. If you even come across a lineup with a lockdown. So when you think about it methodically, you can pretty much have an advantage at all times based on how you utilize your team. I can score. I'm a great scorer. I'm a great decision maker, great passer. And I feel like what separates me on the other side of the end is I'm really one of the best defenders as a overall guard. And that's without even having a defensive build. So I feel like that's what sets me apart as a guard or a wingman in this pool. The fact that I'm able to flex around those positions, produce at those positions, and I hold myself accountable at a high rate. And I'm able to understand dialogue. Growing up, I played sports. So I've had coaches that are hard on you, and I have coaches that are real gentle and subtle with you to get you to understand what they're trying to get across. And the fact that I've come from that background, I understand both, just makes me the ultimate product.
Yeah, no, definitely, and that's huge. So, what do you think that you're going to be able to offer an NBA 2K League team the most?
What I'm going to be able to offer is maturity, professionalism. I'm going to come in every day knowing that I have a job to do, as much as it's I wouldn't say laid back. I would say more so it's a job that we look forward to do. So if you don't have the mindset of knowing that it's still a job and you have to go out there and perform and you have needs that need to be met or a standard that needs to be met, you may start taking things for granted. And I'm not that individual. I'm going to make sure I come in every day and put in 100%, 110% of the effort, whether it's practice, training camp, being on time with practices, traveling, watching film, even when we win or lose, looking for players' tendencies. And I've been around so long, playing with all the elite players, tendencies is something that I could just catch off the back of my hand. I've just had that. I've been in the situation to be able to have that incorporated or instilled in me, to learn that playing with the greats, Fab, JT, Ramo, Shots, Bear the Beast. I could go on and on. I've been playing with these dudes for years. I feel like I know them at this point for how long I've been playing with them and just talking and communicating with them. So the fact that I communicate with my opponents and I also play with them as teammates and understanding the realm of how they think and the realm of how I think, I feel like I have a lot to offer to any organization that gives me that chance. Because not only are you getting a great player, a great person, but you're almost getting like pretty much like a on-court coach. And that's not even at the point guard position. So that's a great thing. Yeah. Knowing that that's somebody that you could trust their opinion, that's also valuing what you're saying and is going to go out there and execute.
That's huge. So you're going to the draft, correct?
Right now I'm working out trying to get to the draft. Luckily I have flight benefits, but right now I'm still working out trying to get to the draft. If I do go, most likely I'll probably be leaving Saturday morning rather than tomorrow. But if I do go, most likely be Saturday morning.
Gotcha. So when you get drafted, when you hear your name get called, you know, what's the first thing that you're doing right after? Where do you start? What do you do? Where do you
go? My nephew. I'm calling my nephew and letting him know I made it. Because he loves IT. Outside of just video games, he loves electronics, technology, how it grows. And he plays Overwatch. And you know how big the realm of esports is around Overwatch. So for me to make it and let him know that I made it is gonna change his life. And I'll be able to change a lot of lives throughout that process.
How old is he?
He just turned 15 February 9th.
Okay. And that's huge. That's huge, man. That's huge. Shout out to him, man. Shout out to him. Tell him I said what's up, man. Keep going for sure. Keep going. That's big, man. That's big. So before we wrap this up, man, I gotta ask you, is there anybody, you know, that you want to give a shout out to at this time? Anybody that comes to mind that you want to pay some respect to right now?
I want to shout out Dave from 2K Zone. I want to shout out the whole 2K Zone organization.
Shout out Dave, yeah.
Jeff G Spurs Zone. Shout out you for taking the time to give me this opportunity, regardless if it was last minute or not, and it's beneficial to me. I want to shout out all my fellow colleagues that I played the game with throughout these years that helped develop me into the player that I am today. I want to shout out the 2K League for giving us this platform to make a difference in our lives and other people around us. I want to shout out Brendan Donahue for being so open, basically welcoming me with open arms when I met him in Orlando. I want to shout out You Famous Enough and OG King Kurt, Tawan, Black Frank White, 2K Comp, for, you know, just being there for the community, being those pillars for the community, supporting the community, pushing the community, making it as big as it is today. As much as they played their part, we also played our part as a collective. And I'm just thankful, man. I'm just thankful to be in this position, knowing that Saturday my life could potentially change.
No, definitely. And man, I don't think you missed anybody. You named a lot of real good people, a lot of staples in the community. So we definitely appreciate that. I appreciate your time, man. I don't take it for granted at all. I wish you the best of luck. Whatever happens, you know, just know, you know, I'm always here for you regardless of what it is. If you need me, you got my number now. And we definitely got to do a post-draft interview, man, regardless of what happens. But like I said, I wish you the best of luck, and I'm really rooting for you, bro. And again, I appreciate you, bro. Thanks for making this happen. And until next time, man.
Likewise. I appreciate this time, boss.
Yes.